Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining. It's me, Dr. Leona. Today we're going to talk about efforting to ease, okay? So, effort. Effort's good. We need to put effort into things to get things going in our life. But efforting is a different thing. Efforting is when you're exhausted. It's you keep putting time and energy and money and you keep trying to work it 100 different ways and you're exhausted and you're not getting anywhere. Sometimes we get stuck in that place when we're trying to create or do something we want in life. So what I want to do is just share some insights with you and some tips with you to help you move from that efforting to ease, to allow things to flow into your life. So I'm going to start by asking a lot of questions, all right? And I'm just throwing these questions out there so that you can start contemplating things. We'll circle back around to why these are relevant for you, okay? So what does efforting look like? Efforting can be anything from being obsessive about, I have to do this, I have to figure this out. How come I can't figure this out? How come I can't sort this out? So obsessing, overthinking, you're usually crabby, you're usually fatigued, you usually exhaust all resources. People might not want to hang out with you because you're driving them crazy. So these are some of the efforting things that might not be working as well as you would like, okay? So we want to shift out of that. Now, let me ask you this. To figure out, we're going to start by thinking about a couple things. One, where do you put your time and energy and your focus? On what do you focus on the most? Okay, because this is a clue in the efforting party, okay? So if you're constantly thinking about a relationship that's a struggle and you're trying to fix it and you're trying to figure it out and you're trying to fix it and you're trying to figure it out, this is what I'm talking about. So let's think about where do you put most of your time and energy and focus on that, okay? The next question I want to ask you is, what is your biggest fear? This is really a good one, okay? And the reason I say this is a good one is fear will eat you alive from the inside out, okay? Fear paralyzes people, and until you address your fear and work through that, you're always going to be stuck in a loop, okay? You're always going to be stuck in a loop. So what I would encourage you to do is spend some time alone and think about, what do I fear the most? Okay, what do I fear the most? That's what you want to think about. And we're going to talk about why that's actually really relevant in your life. Well, real quick, the reason it's really relevant and we want to work you from efforting to ease is because when you're in fear, your vibrational frequency is real low and real heavy. So therefore you attract at that level. And when you attract at that level, you get a lot of shit in your life that's not working out, or people. We want to raise that frequency so things flow in with more ease, okay? What do you want to change in your life? So everybody just kind of think to themselves, what do you want to change? If you could change anything, what would you do? Then my next question is, are you willing to give up control? That's a big one for a lot of people. Are you willing to give up control? Because a lot of us grew up in situations that what I find is people who are very controlling and rigid, oftentimes we grew up in situations that were chaos and crazy, or alcoholic parents or abusive families. And as a result of that circus, we feel better when we control things in our life because we feel like we have some level of control if we came from a place that we never had control growing up. But the question is, to really evolve in life and to really grow and spread your wings, you gotta let go of control, okay? And that's hard for a lot of people. I mean, that's just hard for a lot of people. So we're gonna talk about how to do that. And I promise you, because I understand, because I do understand this, I promise you, if you can shift that, my God, your life will open up in ways you never ever imagined. And then my next question for you is, where did you come from? Do you ever think about, where did you come from? How did I get here? How was I created? Keep that in the back of your mind, because we're going to talk about that in just a second. And how was I created? Because really, we're all created perfectly and whole. And it's amazing. What I know about the human body is so unbelievably amazing. One cell in our body is smarter than any doctor, any machine, any computer, because our body is able to function and process on its own without us supervising it and controlling it. It does it all by itself. So that's the first little indication you don't need to be in control, because your body's got this. So a couple other things. Some basic premises of life. We're all humans having a spiritual experience, okay? With that being said, we will all, and I want you to remember this as you're dealing with people in life, we will all come in with wounds. and we all have things and aspects of our life that need to be healed, okay? So we want to work through that. Also, again, we all have fears that we need to address to evolve and transcend where we're stuck, okay? So we want to kind of take a look at those things. All of us are at some point in our life going to have to overcome physical, emotional, or financial distress. All of us. It might be when we're born, we have a lisp, or we have a crooked leg, or our eyes crazy, whatever the issue is. We'll all have to overcome something, so keep that in the back of your mind. Once again, going back to the ability to surrender control, or the need to control other people in your life, that's a really big part of the efforting, okay? When we're moving forward and we want to create and we want to do things, we oftentimes have this vision in our mind, or this illusion in our mind, that if we fix this and control this and we do this and we make everything perfect, it will turn out fabulous. And God has a sense of humor, and that usually doesn't happen like that. That's just to teach you, you're not in control. Okay, so efforting has a lot to do with control and your ability to surrender and recognize, I'm going to do what I can to prepare for what I'm doing. I've put in my effort, my basic time and energy. But when you get to the obsessive aspect and you're all about controlling every aspect, that's sucking the life out of you, and you are blocking the flow of life from coming to you when you do that, okay? So just be aware of that. The other thing with the need to control people or situations around you, that's a great distraction from you taking care of your own business. That's what I find is, so when people are in other people's business and they're worried about this one and they're fixing that one and they're talking about this one, it's because they're not paying attention to their own life and evolving in their own life and growing through their own stuff. Instead, they're distracting you and them with being in everybody else's circus. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind as well. So let go of that need to control people, because it's never going to work. The only thing actually that you can control in your life is you can control your reaction. Your reaction. We would say, oh, you can control your thoughts. I don't believe that. I think that you can be manipulated and thoughts can come to you. So I don't know that you can control your thoughts, but we can always, at all times, control our reaction to what's going on around us. And once we learn how to do that, changes everything. It's a game changer in your life, okay? We want to focus on today about your process of unfolding, okay? And as part of that unfolding or that evolution, kind of one of the biggest things that I find that people struggle with, but it is essential to our personal evolution individually, but collectively as a consciousness. As a conscious, we need to raise up our vibrational frequency, and we need to start being very, very authentic. We need to be authentic with ourselves, and we need to be truthful with ourselves in the way we show up in life, okay? I think we are going through a lot of energetic shifts right now. Yesterday was 8-8. 8 is a gateway to higher evolution, more transcendence, more good things coming in, the evolutionary process of life. So we're already in an energy pattern right now of evolution. And what I can tell you is you're going to see everything that's not authentic coming to light. You're going to see a lot of lies revealed and things revealed that are very, very disturbing. But all of these things need to come into the light, okay? And you showing up authentic is a great way for you to let your light shine in life, all right? So let's see. All right, this is one of my favorite. With regards to showing up authentic, we are not, so a couple things. We are not our name. We are not a label. We are not something that happened to us. We are not a belief, and we are not a feeling. We are a collective body of that, okay? Interacting every day in the world in that. Some people get stuck in I'm this, I'm that, or labeling. And labeling always, quite frankly, pisses me off. I get so pissed when people label, like, I am this and you need to see me as this. And the downfall with that, from my perspective, is if you want to hold a label and see you only as this, you're censoring me. Because I want to see, I see all of you. I see your light, I see your soul, I see your beauty inside. But when you put a label on who you are, you're telling me to look at this much of you, which That's not even the good part. There's so much more. So forget the labels. Let go of those labels because that's not serving you. And all it does is attach you to one aspect of your life that necessarily will not let you evolve and fly, okay? So the other thing is, whatever happened to you in your life, if you were abused or you were an alcoholic or whatever your situation, you were a survivor or something, you know, as a doctor, when I work with people, when they come in and they tell me, I have this, I'm like, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I will take that into consideration as I'm taking care of you. However, I will not choose to see you like that because now you're asking me to drop to your level to distract me from doing my job to get you here. You're asking me to see your limitations. That's your perception. That's today. I'm looking at where am I taking you? Where are we going? How do we get to the next level? So once again, this label of I have MS, I have fibromyalgia. People don't realize that dragging those things around, it's disempowering to you. It is so disempowering. And quite frankly, go back to what do you focus on? If I say I have fibromyalgia, I have fibromyalgia, I have fibromyalgia, or I have MS, I have MS, I'm not saying that you don't, but I can tell you that you're probably not going to be on the track to health as long as you're dragging that around with you, because you are focusing on that all day, every day, and you are allowing that to label and identify you, and you'll block energy of healing coming in. So that, you know, that's from my 20 years experience as a doctor, that's what I see. So I don't look at you like, oh, poor you, you have this. I look at you as potential. I look at how can I help unlock in your body what's not allowing flow in your body so that your light will shine. That's how I look at everybody. So it's not that I'm being cold or disingenuous. You're not censoring how I see you, because I see the beauty in everybody. So broken, hobbling, dragging one leg, doesn't matter, seeing the beauty. That's the cool thing about what I do. Anyway, evolving. Part of evolving with us and showing up authentic, this is why it's so important to our evolution as a society overall, is as we're evolving, we need you to step up and say yes to more things. And in doing so, you will put yourself in different situations. Like today, you guys all got up off your couches and came. Yay! That means you're investing time and energy into yourself because you want to learn more or grow more or shift your perception. And that's what we want to do, is we want to share with you some insights on how to do that and how to get to the next level. But it's extremely important for all of us to evolve, because once again, as we evolve, here's what happens. We show up, we say yes, we meet other people. Then the next thing that happens is collaboration. Then we start talking, and you know this one and you know this one, and we want to do this and you do this. Then we start collaborating, and as we start collaborating and we say yes and we show up, we start creating unity. Unity. Then we end up with a sense of community, because we all have something in common and we're all showing up that we want to better ourselves and we want to evolve. But here's what I can tell you. So many of us are stuck in this place of, oh, I don't want to say that. They'll think I'm this, or, you know, this is what's expected of me, or I'm obligated to do this, or that's not appropriate. Every time you do that, what you're doing is you're extinguishing your light. And in order for you to connect with your tribe and your people, you need to let your light shine. Because as you show up authentically, and let me preface this with, we're all in a process. We will never get done and things will never be perfect. And if you can embrace that concept right now, that because we're all growing and evolving, perfect is we're done. So we're done evolving and growing? Ooh, no. So this illusion of perception or of perfection, that's a self-sabotage thing. So we all continuously evolve and grow, and as we do, we step into meeting other people, and we let our light shine, and our energetic level raises, and we meet other people. We meet other people in our tribe that we didn't even know, and then we again start creating a collective consciousness of unity to raise everybody up. Because like I've said before, when you watch the geese in formation and they all fly, they fly in the V, and they fly in the V because they can all do a lot less energy together when they're flapping their wings. So when they're all scattered all over the place, they're all working twice as hard. They're all efforting. We want to be the geese. Okay, we want to be the geese that all fly together in a nice, we're all flowing together. And sometimes we're like, this is a cool trip. I'm gonna go over on that trip. And then we might join some more geese on a different trip. And you're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to change. But I can't express to you how important it is, especially in today's and age, to show up authentically. Because here's the other thing is, people are going to talk shit. They talk shit? Yeah, they are. Okay? Haters are gonna hate. Somebody's always got something to say. Somebody's always gonna judge. My question to you is, are these people that you hold in a very, very high esteem in your life? And how relevant are they in your life? Because if it's someone that you hold in a very, very high esteem and they might say, you know what, can you consider? Okay, take a minute, take pause. Take into consideration. But if you're asking me, or you're expected to live your life by worrying about, if I say this or do this, will I offend? Yes, you will. Yeah, you will. Let me just tell you that right now. Let's just make that easy. You're always going to offend somebody, because you know what? In today's day and age, some people like to make a hobby out of being offended. That's all they do. They find things to be offended about all the time. You know these people, they talk about it, this one did this, and I went to this place and it was wrong, and I went to that place and wrong, and everybody's incompetent, nobody can do anything. So when you see those people, you know, be aware, they probably do this about everyone and everything. So stop, minimize interaction with those people, and when you show up authentically as yourself, you give other people permission to do the same. There's nothing more encouraging than, I had a woman who was talking about, she was closing a business she owned, and she was shutting it down, and she was sad about that, and she was going to see her people. And I said, stop beating yourself up. Stop it. Why are you beating yourself up? Because you're closing down your business. That fit you then, that no longer serves you. You're on to something different. Why are you judging and shaming yourself? Because we all do this, we judge and shame ourselves. I said, but what you don't understand is when you show up that last day and you interact with the people that have worked with you, and you say to them, it's time for me to focus on my family, you are, by you shining your light and being authentic to yourself and doing what you need to do for you, you're also giving all those other people permission and showing them courage to step back and say, wow, I wish I could do that. Maybe I can do that. Maybe my quality of life would improve. Maybe I would be happier, okay? So that's why it's important to be authentic and show up authentic, is not only to shine your light, find your tribe, attract these other people to co-create and collaborate, because that's what we're supposed to do, and create more unity and give people the courage and permission to evolve on their path. Because all of us are evolving every day, all day. We're all evolving. Or some of us are stagnant. I'm hoping I'm talking to the people who are here to evolve, is what I'm hoping. So let me think what else we got to go over. Yeah, life is going on. Let your light shine. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Got to cover this point. All right. Sometimes in life, we do a lot of self-reflection and self-work, okay? And we spend some time alone and we start questioning things like, what do you fear? Because once you look at what you fear, you can flip that over, because the fear is the darkness. When you can face what you fear and you can flip that, then it becomes the light, and that becomes your light, okay? So, I lost my train of thought. All right, so we're all here, we're all on a path, we're all supposed to work together, we're all supposed to co-create. When people are thinking, what is my purpose in life, or what am I supposed to do, a lot of us get obsessive. And quite frankly, I'll be honest with you, I've obsessed over something for 3 to 5 years. So this was good for me to kind of do my research and work on this, because I've had this burning question in my mind. And one of the questions I came across is, what do you fear? And it made me sit down and really kind of look at that. And oftentimes it's what we fear is really, really, really our light. And so for instance, with me, I said, what do I fear? And when I took a real hard look at it, it was being powerful and speaking my truth, which I know seems weird, because I'm like one who talks all the time. But then when I sat alone and figured, well, what is that really about? Because every day I kind of am real authentic with my people. What is that really about? What's the deeper rooted thing in that? And the deeper rooted aspect for me personally that I came up with is, I believe that in a past life, and if you believe in past lives, then understand that our DNA carries with us all information from our ancestors in previous places in time, and that's all in our DNA right now and currently. So in my DNA, or what I feel is in a previous life, I was persecuted for speaking out or speaking the truth or advocating for something I felt like I was right. I was very rebellious about this and very very passionate and rebellious. And as a result of that, I feel that my family would have been in danger or harm's way, and myself as well. So I feel like there is some old memories and old stuff that I might not in this place in time be able to put my finger on it, but if you will spend time in quietness, your soul and your higher self will reveal to you the secrets of your soul to help you move along. But most of us don't make any time or energy to just have that downtime and listen to ourselves and connect with spirit and kind of get in that flow. And that's where the ease comes in. When we're able to finally spend some time and energy on taking that quiet time, and let's set our intentions of what do I want to attract? What do I want to create? What does that look like? What does my yoga studio look like? Or what does this program I want to do? What does this look like? And you spend time alone from people. So it's your baby for you to cultivate. You have to understand that sometimes when you start asking everybody else's input, they might rain on your parade because they don't want to see you outgrow them. They might not want to see you successful. They might be jealous. There's a lot of dynamics going on. So, when you find your tribe of tight people that you respect their opinion, then you share that information with them and you get feedback from them. But you have to be aware of that sometimes people are not always going to be cheering you on. And when you get to that path in your life, when you found out what your path is, or you're listening to what works for you, you have to walk that path alone. You have to walk that path alone. Nobody else can walk that path for you. Okay, that is part of our growing and evolution. It's not getting there and having your practice. It's the journey and the steps along the way. And if you will simply start every day by setting an intention. Today, I'm going to meet amazing people. I'm going to serve people. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to have a good time. Everything's going to be effortless. Opportunities are going to come my way. I'm going to hear of new things, new exciting things. If you will set that intention, you're telling the universe, you're telling your higher self, you're telling your spirits, angels, guides, I'm ready, I'm ready. I'm going to follow the path. And so as part of life, the part of ease is spending that time of listening to yourself and then following those little nuggets and those little pieces of information that lead you somewhere. You might say, hey, I just really quick want to run by the dry cleaners. I don't know, I just got to drop something off. Something just calls you to go there. And in the process, you talk to somebody that they connect you to somebody else, to somebody else, to somebody else. So this is what I'm talking about. Ease is saying yes and stepping into the flow of going and doing different things. If you're very rigid and my day has to be like this, and this, or a vacation has to be this, you're not allowing spirit to bring to you all these amazing opportunities that will go your way because you're not following ease and grace and stepping into it. So I would encourage you to just play a game. Just one day play a game and say, all right, here's the deal. George Costanza did this one time on Friends where he did opposite day. He did everything one day and then he just said, this ain't working. I'm doing opposite day. So I'm going to encourage you all to have an opposite day, okay? And what you want to do on that opposite day is throw out all the rules. And just try to use the day for serendipitous opportunities. And you spend time that day or that morning and you say, you know what I'm going to do? Today I'm going to set my intention. And I want to see if I can attract or create or meet new people or find an article or find a rock or whatever, find a great tree to meditate under, whatever it is. I'm going to say yes to the universe. I'm going to follow these little goofy inklings that have me going here and going there and doing this. Sometimes I'll schedule patients and for some reason, I give them an opportunity to be by someone else. It's the strangest thing. And then I'll put them by next to somebody else's appointment, really with the intention of introducing these people. They don't know it. But energetically, I feel they're real similar. And I'm like, or they're in the same field. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to help a little serendipity today. So there's people out there that might be doing this, okay? And you don't even know about it. So I would start say yes to life and start getting more involved. There also will come a time as you're walking through your path, you have to do this alone, and your self-reflection and your self-growth has to be on your own. But I also want to caution you, it's great to do your soul searching, your past life regressions, your intuitive readings, your peyote, your ayahuasca, whatever your trip is or whatever journey you want to do, hypnotherapy, whatever it is, your child's work. Those are all fabulous, and they are all keys to unfolding and helping you reveal yourself. But at some point in time, you have to table all of that doing, and just start being. Show up every day and start being. We're not here to make a checklist of what we have to do. That is not what life is about. Life is about continuously growing and evolving and being open to where our soul is calling us to be, or what it's calling us to do with this one, or collaborate with that one, is what it's supposed to do in the end game, okay? So once again, if you show up authentic, you're more likely gonna raise your vibrational frequency and attract those people you want, okay? So what does ease look like? People who are in a state of ease and allowing, they focus their time and energy on the things that bring them joy. As soon as and we want to start training ourselves, as soon as you start having a negative thought or something that brings you down, you want to snap yourself out of it, and you want to shift your focus to something that brings you joy, so that you don't go in that downhill spiral. So people who are in the flow of ease and grace, they've trained themselves and they work towards not getting stuck in the past, because that already happened. You can't go backwards. You can't change it. Get over it. Make peace with it. Move forward. Life is waiting for you. I know you have a story. We all have stories, but that story is not going to serve you in where you're going. So if you take part of that story in your evolution of how that challenge and how you overcame it, that's awesome. That's a win. But if you're just dragging around that story for the sake of sympathy, those are people who are in efforting, and they're never going to get to that ease. So people who are in ease you see that they collaborate, they give of their time and energy, they help other people effortlessly, they want to interact with other people, they oftentimes say yes, and they like to co-create, and they like to collaborate. And they also are usually not very, very controlling, but more in a state of, they're almost like hippies. Like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I'll go there. That sounds fun. That's me. But it's allowing. It's because you don't know what's coming your way, and the universe has all kinds of cool things along the way, and if you will just keep your eyes open, you'll see amazing things. This lady told me a story today, really cool story. She says, yeah, I was at a rest stop area with my grandson, and we saw this really weird rock. And I'm like, huh? She said, yeah, it was green and gold. So I told my grandson, put your phone down, pay attention, look at that weird rock. And the kid went and got the rock. He picks up the rock. So the funny thing about that rock is she turns the rock over. The rock is from a church. That church painted that rock, and there is something taped on the bottom and taped over that says, follow this rock. And it's a website where people take this rock and put this rock somewhere else, and then it's listed on the website where the rock went. So here's the woman would have never thought, looking at a rock and pointing out to her grandson, and then the grandson took the rock to his home so that he could show where the rock was, and then will subsequently put it in his neighborhood for somebody else to find the rock. So that's what life is about. It's a little treasure hunt of finding rocks and stones and crystals and people and all kinds of cool things along the way, if you will simply say yes. Let your light shine, show up authentic, play well with others, and allow. Stop trying to control things. You are not in control. Let things roll off your back. Stop wasting time and energy on things you can't control, on people's opinions. That is such a waste of time. Start moving forward and focus on what you want to attract, what you want to create in the happy stuff. And if all else fails and you get stuck, put on some good music. That'll shift you. Put on some good music. Roll up your windows and jam out. That's what I would recommend, okay? Because you can't go through the neighborhoods with that stuff. And these are the people who walk in life with ease and grace. They don't get all hung up on things, and they don't get stuck in things, because they allow. The only thing that they control is their reaction. So they allow things to happen, and they choose how to appropriately react to something, okay, instead of coming unglued and having a reaction emotionally, Okay, alrighty. That's all I got for you today on efforting to ease. We need you to let your light shine and show up authentic. So thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.